Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our very, very first... Oh, are you speaking, Tiggs?
No, I wasn't going to talk over you. I
was like, oh my god, did I forget to unmute it?
Okay, God, we've done that before, Carl.
Let's take it back a second.
Hang on, let's start again.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll the intro. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the very first Beardy's News Roundup. Joining me this evening is the wonderful, flouncy, bouncy, fun ticket time himself. Say hello,
Hey,
Tiggs.
guys. Hi, Tiggs. Hi, guys. How's it going? Happy Friday!
Friday!
Unless you're listening to this on a different day, and then happy whatever day that is.
I mean, if you're not listening to it on a Friday, you're even a fan of the show.
I mean, come on, guys.
I joke. As I said, this is our first episode, so I expect this to be a little bit janky like the very first podcast we ever did, but I'm pretty sure we'll get through it. Every Friday at 8 o'clock, we're going to bring you a weekly news roundup of all the things that have been going on. So I've been scouring the interweb all week for the hottest news stories to bring them to you tonight and talk through them with my dearest friend, Tigger Time.
Yes, Tigger Kent tonight.
Tigger Kent.
Yeah, because Clark Kent was a news reporter.
That's very good.
I mean, I was going to wear my glasses, but I'm currently wearing contact lenses, so that might make me blind, so I decided against that.
I mean, you could have just taken the contacts out and then put the glasses on.
They're monthlies, and I have no... Yeah, and we're on full lockdown, so...
Okay, I don't want to waste them then.
Yeah,
waste not, want not. Let's get into it. So, a little bit of housekeeping for you. On Sunday, we will be back with another episode of the Gaymers Assemble podcast.
2.0, bitches, 2.0!
Oh, yeah. We're still nailing down an episode topic, but make sure you come and see us on Sunday for that. As always...
And if you have a topic, though, and you're listening to this before Sunday, tweet us, and we might do your topic. Speaking
of Twitter, you can find us at Gaymers Assemble, Gaymers Assemble, the normal spelling of assemble. You can always find us on YouTube, sorry, my words weren't going to come out then, YouTube and Spotify, as well as other podcast services. However, this show is only going to be live on Twitch and up on our YouTube channel, so if you do miss it, you're going to have to head to one of those two to be able to see it.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Time to get into some newsy stories. We have got 8 things to talk about this evening. Starting off with, there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? Lucasfilm Games has launched itself after...
Oh, right. I was like, what is he on about?
It's the line from the film, from The Force Awakens.
I just went somewhere else with that.
Whatever. So Lucasfilm Games has launched its new gaming initiative, now the umbrella brand for Lucas IPs when it comes to the gaming side of things. It also announced that it's going to be working with Ubisoft on a narrative-driven open-world game. Ubimotion will be the studio heading up the project, best known in recent years for the Division series. Not only did they announce this, they also announced that they're going to be working with Bethesda Machine Games on an Indiana Jones game. I mean, could you think of a better match than that? Machine Games, if you didn't know, are best known for the Wolfenstein games. Now, as always, these news stories have come from my scouring of the interweb, so when you head over to YouTube, the links to those articles will be in the description. But Tiggs, what do you think?
Well, this is all very exciting, really. So... what is it going to mean for EA, though? That's what
Well, I'm super fucking happy. So I grew up with LucasArts, the amazing, wonderful studio that brought us Star Wars Unleashed, Force Unleashed 1 and 2. It brought us the KOTOR series. It brought us Bounty Hunter. It brought us Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. It brought us Rogue Squadron, all the wonderful classic LucasArts games, but it's not the only thing that's in their portfolio. So you've got things like Monkey Island as well.
Oh yeah,
which was like classic. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to fact check myself first though, that Don't Be Afraid of the Dark was a Lucasfilm game.
Well, we know what I'm like. I'm afraid of my own shadow whenever it comes to scary things. So, I will do a stream with you one night though. Playing a scary game.
You should do
Yeah.
it. So
we would need a camera set up for that though.
Yeah,
so
we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So they released loads of games. I don't think the one I was thinking on is the one that we're looking at. But you had like loads of Indiana Jones games. You had Master Blazer, Loom. You had Pipe Dream. You had Battlehawks. There's just loads. Ball Blazer's one of them.
I'm saying nothing. We know where I go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really exciting time for Lucasfilm Games to have announced this, because I was sick of the EA deal. Like, they brought out a bit of tripe the last few years. The only good things that they brought out was probably Battlefront 2, Squadrons, and Jedi Fallen Order, which incidentally is pretty much the entirety of their portfolio while they've had this deal with Disney. They've had loads of cancelled games, so I'm really happy that it's going to go back to the old school LucasArts type thing, which is like, hey, we've got this IP, got all these great things in there. You got Star Wars, you got Indiana Jones, got all this backlog stuff. We don't want to make these games, so we're going to say, hey Ubisoft, hey EA, hey Machine Games, hey whoever it is, if you want to make a Star Wars game or you want to make a Lucas IP game, just let us know what it is and we'll greenlight it.
Pretty cool. Now that is really cool.
Yeah.
It gives them time to focus on other things. I mean, I played Battlefront 1. My brother had it. So I was like, yeah, I'll give this a go. I was just like, is this it? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, right, no.
And they tried to, like, I remember when it came out, they said, well, when you look at the original Battlefront game that came out from LucasArts, there was no campaign or story mode or anything like that. It was literally just like a map pack. Like, you could play these games and you could just do it online. And I'm like, there's such a poor excuse, because it's, what year did it come out?
It wasn't that long ago.
I feel like it was 2015 or something, or 2016.
Time flies and you're having fun, doesn't
it? 2015. I was right.
Was that your researching jingle?
Yeah. Yeah, 2015 they released it, and they tried to kind of go, well, hang on, the original one didn't have a story mode, but it's like, it's 2015. We know better now when it comes to video games. Like, there needed to be that story element in there.
Yeah, there has to be a story element. The stories are what drives people to buy games. Like, yeah, there's some people that like the Battle Royale online type stuff, but the vast majority of gamers are story driven, I think.
But even when it comes to like a Battle Royale, you look at like Fortnite, for example. Don't play it, don't know that much about it, but I know there is some kind of story there in terms of like its world and what goes on and like different characters and stuff. Things like Apex Legends, they don't have like a story mode in the game, but all of their characters are like connected to each other and all have backstories and like all that kind of stuff. Like, so
even like if you look at, well, it's not really Battle Royale, but it's Overwatch. They built a whole world around their characters. They've got Overwatch comics. They've got Overwatch shorts. I've read the comics. Tracer, did you ever get that feeling of deja vu? I love Tracer. She's absolutely amazing. I mean, she's a bitch to play with, but she's absolutely amazing. I love her. And she's a lesbian.
And she's a lesbian. We love a lesbian around here.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
We do. But what about this Ubisoft game? What do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to look like?
I don't know really. Is it just online?
Well, have you played The Division 1 or 2?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I've played a bit of it, yeah.
So the Division thing is like this online MMO shooter RPG type thing. I didn't play the first one, but I have played the second one. I do quite enjoy the second one. So there is like a narrative there and a story there, but it's very like MMO-like. So like your character doesn't really speak much, or well, it doesn't speak at all. You have sort of characters like just regurgitating knowledge at you about what's going on.
Yeah, I think I'd like it to be a bit more. It'd be cool if they could give you like a choice of voices.
Mm.
Like it doesn't have to be big on the actual size of like files that they use, but
Yeah.
like say so many male voices, so many female voices, so many like goblin voices or whatever race voices, like weird,
Yeah.
weird like Ewok voices. Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Can you
imagine
imagine
an
if you could be an Ewok?
Ewok and you had the force.
Yeah.
Be Chihuahua. Do it.
Job
Do
knob.
it.
Job knob.
Yep. I love the
Um,
Ewok. Yes,
I,
that's what I want. I
I.
want an Ewok with a light fucking saber. That would be amazing.
Could you imagine? I'm hoping they that Ubimotion pulls from the resources within Ubisoft and maybe pulls across some people that have worked on Assassin's Creed. And here's my elevator pitch for it, okay?
Okay. Hang on, I need to pretend I'm in the elevator. Ding. Okay, we're going to the top floor, Beardy.
Okay, so it's set in the era where after Rebels, where Ezra goes missing with Thrawn, and it's the story that of Ahsoka trying to find Ezra and Thrawn, and it's
Ooh.
like Assassin's Creedy to some extent because you're playing as Ahsoka and you need to kind of use stealth to get around and do things. But it's also like massively open world and a little bit like a KOTOR game. So you've got lots of different worlds that you can go to, different missions and stuff like that. And you're almost being like a bit of a Jedi mercenary. So you're taking on like contracts to do things, not a bounty hunter because obviously that's well out of the Jedi code, but you're trying to help people like and find information, and the Force is like guiding you. So like you end up looking out for like a family that's getting attacked, and it turns out that this family knows something that then feeds into the story that's driving like the narrative forward. I think that'd be pretty cool.
What about a weird disturbance in the Force that's stealing power from
Mm.
the Jedi, and like it could be the Sith that are actually like stealing power from them? That would be absolutely super cool. Could you imagine the device that the Sith would have to do that? Like, can you imagine the planet that they would have it on?
I
I'm
well,
getting
I've got a
oh
funny feeling what it might end up being is a revival of KOTOR to some extent. Because they've just announced the High Republic stuff. They've just released the first book. First comics have just come out. There's younger Yoda in there. He's only about 700 years old in this comic, but he's still got a bit of grey hair in there. So I've got a funny feeling it might revolve around that, and tie back into like the main narrative. Because Lucasfilm is going to have like a story plot out there for all this stuff. So
oh yeah. Well,
definitely,
hopefully it's something that they build expansions on as
yeah,
well. They definitely will. But it'd be cool to be able to go to a lot of different planets on it.
yeah,
Kind of interstellar travel. Quite like that.
that would be cool.
I
I'd
just
be
want to go
into
to the
it.
I just want to go to the Force Moon Endor and dance with the Ewoks because let's face it, the Ewoks are the best characters in the whole thing.
Yeah. I just want a good narrative driven RPG open world game where I can play as a Jedi, like, and build my
The,
own story. That would be perfectly fine by me.
the problem with open world games, MMORPGs, is sometimes you can get lost in there,
Well,
and
I
they need
don't
to have
I
a
don't want
very
it to
good
be
system.
online per se. I don't want it to be like a Knights of the Old Republic. Sorry, a Old Republic, Star Wars Old Republic. I don't want that kind of like online thing. Maybe some sort of co-op. Um, But like I do just I want the story first. I want to be able to design my character, pick its race, pick its clothes, everything, lightsaber
Yeah,
hilts, the whole shebang. But in like a more narrative driven like story.
that would be pretty cool. That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool. And what's happened to co-op? Co-op is just not in the games that I play anymore, or maybe it's
Yeah.
just the games that I
Maybe it's
play.
just the games that you play, Tiggs.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
of the
it'd be
games,
nice. It'd be nice to have like an adventure game where you can actually fully co-op the whole
mm.
bloody thing. Like there's two characters.
Well, there is a few out there like that.
Yeah, but if they did this like that,
Well, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So did like a
w-
co-op Star Wars game.
yeah, or you could take on a Padawan. Imagine
Mm,
that.
yeah,
Wow, that would be. Whenever you get to a certain level, it's like a little ding. Congrats, you're now a Jedi Master. You can take on a Padawan, so you have like someone that's just starting out in the game, and they can be your Padawan, but you can get rewards for helping them out.
That'd be quite cool. Maybe it will
Write to me for game ideas at Tigger
Time. Speaking of game ideas, story number 2 is all about Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, will this game not die already? Die!
It seems like there's not a week that goes by that Cyberpunk 2077 isn't in the news. Hell, there's barely a day that goes by when it's not in the news.
Seriously, like a few moments and you'll see someone tweeting or posting something on Facebook about it or something or other, yeah.
But before that happens, let's get into these 2 bits. So, 2 stories that broke this week is, first up, a Polish competition watchdog is investigating CD Projekt Red to look into the state of the game as its launch and its apparent misleading narrative and the state of the game that they put out there leading up to the launch of it, and the subsequent disastrous launch that saw refunds issued by all major retailers and led to the game being taken off the PlayStation Store. If they've been found guilty, they could be fined up to 10% of their annual income.
Deadpool face.
This also comes off the back of another investigation by shareholders into the handling of the game. Now, that's the first part of the story. Second part of the story for this week is Marcin Iwinski, who is a studio co-founder, released a video apology last night. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Basically saying, hey, we fucked it up. We're really sorry about it, but this is what we're going to do about it. So they've laid out like a roadmap to how they're going to fix it. 2 large packs are going to be released in January and February, which is something that they told us about before Christmas. And there's a plethora of multiple hotfixes on the way, the first of which is supposed to be here within 10 days. Once they've got those 2 things sorted, all the hotfixes are done, they're going to release some free DLC, and then after that they're going to be releasing the next-gen updates for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. But that's probably not going to be until the second half of 2021. Now, Tiggs. I just knocked my light off. Hang on.
Oh, hang on. Beardy's fixing his light. I'll do some light fixing music. Oh, Beardy Gaymer, he's fixing his light. Do. Oh, he's back.
Tiggs. Oh, Tiggs.
Hot fixes for a hot fucking mess. That's what this is. Hot fixes. Jesus. Like, are the developers now playing The Floor is Lava?
Well, the biggest issue that I have with this apology, 2 things. One, it's like, 6 weeks too late? This should have happened the same week that it hit consoles and it hit store shelves and people were going, holy shit, like, this game is fucked. Like, they should have come out and gone, hey, look, really sorry about this. Like, it's not what we thought it was going to be. And he goes into it. If you've watched the video, he kind of talks about how, you know, they built it for the PC, and the PC side of things, it's been so good. There are loads of really good reviews, everything else. Bugs as normal, but nothing like overly game-breaking. And as they've tried to distill that then down into the new-gen series and then old-gen consoles, it's just started to fall apart. And they were working on it, and leading up to the Day Zero launch patch, they thought they had it sorted, but then it all fell apart in the last minute. So, kind of get that, that's fine. But then he again goes on to kind of say, well, actually, maybe it was like the testers' fault. So kind of like shifted blame ever so slightly on the playtesters, and kind of was like, went back to this whole narrative of, oh, we didn't realize it was as broken as it was, which for me is utter bullshit. Like, there is no way that they could have looked at this game.
You know what he can do? for anybody that's not watching, I blew my hand and put up my finger.
Yeah. What's your take on the apology?
This was a total clusterfuck of a game, right? Let's be honest. And after Fallout 76, like Fallout 76, whenever that was released, any RuPaul fans, you'll get that. Whenever that was released, right? So I thought personally that Cloud's looking for love here. I thought personally that no game company would ever make a similar mistake again, because that was bad. It was really bad. I don't like Fallout, and it was everywhere, and I knew exactly what was happening with those games and what happened with Fallout 76. And then whenever Cyberpunk landed, I've got some major problems with this, right? They basically lied. So it's fine them showing this is on PC. Right, okay, that's on PC. And if it's slightly different on consoles, you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Like top end like gaming PC definitely blows consoles out of the water. No, there's no denying that. But why let it be so bad on the consoles that you're developing it for? Like, why didn't they just release it in PC first? And they were sneaky. They lied, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get really angry about
Yep.
this because they give it to like streamers and said that if they were going to talk about it, they had to use their development footage. That is pure lies. Like, if they were going to be transparent about everything, they would have said, "Here you go, do your thing, where you go. We want to hear what the feedback is." They did not want to hear the feedback because they knew it was fucked.
Well,
Asshats.
exactly. They all the review copies that got sent out was given with the standard NDA of what you can and can't talk about with the game, where you can play up to all the rest of it. But also, there was this huge thing in there that was like, if you're gonna put a video up talking about this game, doing a review or whatever, you have to use our stock footage that we're gonna send you. And the stock footage that they sent them was pretty much all the trailers and stuff we'd already seen, which is all cherry picked marketing loveliness for selling the game. You bring up Fallout 76. This is like, for me, the straw that breaks the camel's back, because we've had so many games over the years, going all the way back down to like Killzone 2, I think it was, when they showed off the footage at the E3 for the Killzone that was going to come out on the PlayStation 3, and everyone's jaws were on the floor. And then when it came out, it was like, oh my god, what the fuck? It turns out that what had been shown at that E3 was actually a internal like vision video. So the studio was like, this is what we want it to look like. And they sent that to Sony to kind of go, hey, this is what we're wanting Killzone 2 to look like. And Sony was like, fuck yeah, let's put it on the E3 stage. So it goes all the way back to then. You've got Alien Colonial Marines, all the beautiful footage we saw of that. When we got it, it was broken, the AI was fucked. Awfulness. Anthem, No Man's Sky, like even Avengers to some extent. There's so many games have come out in the last 20 years that have been sold as one thing and turned out to be another. And I just think this time, this particular game has fucked it. And I don't believe CD Projekt Red in any way, shape, or form when they say, like, trust us, we'll fix this. Like, we didn't realize it was this fucked. You knew it was fucked. You chose to send it out that way anyway because you thought and you knew that people respected your company, respected your development team, respected your work when it came to like the Witcher series, and you thought you could get away with this because people would go, "Oh well, it's CD Projekt Red. Like it might be a little bit broken, but they'll definitely fix it." Blah blah blah. People point to the fact that Witcher 3 had loads of bugs. Fair, whatever. Every game comes out, has its bugs, has its moments, but nothing in recent memory that I can think of has come out and been such a clusterfuck like Cyberpunk 2077.
I have a question for our watchers and listeners about this because I have a very strong opinion on it. So back in the day, before we were online, before we had the loveliness of all this YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and all the stuff that we use, you got games in a cartridge or a disc. That game had to be finished. There was no bones about it. It had to be totally, completely finished. And if there was a bug, there was a bug, like that Pokemon one, where you got like the piece of code.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was well cool. I loved that. And they were like little Easter eggs, weren't they? They were there. They're little Easter eggs, but the game fundamentally worked.
Mm-hmm.
Graphically, it was what it was supposed to be at the end. It was rigorously play tested. Now we seem to be getting from the age of, say, I don't think the 360 was so bad. I think it was more Xbox One and PlayStation 4 where we started really getting day
I'd
one
say
patches.
360 PS3 was the
Day one
time.
patches, though, like all the time.
Not all the time, but it's when it started.
It's when it started,
Yeah.
but whenever we moved into like the One and PlayStation 4, it became like standard for you to put in a disc and have a day one patch. Why? Why? Just let the game be finished in the first place. And I want to know what our listeners think. Put it in Twitch or put it in Twitter. Put it anywhere. Send it to us. Let us know. Would you rather wait an extra 6 months for a game and not have a massive, massive day one patch to download that for people with slower internet can take a whole day, a whole 24 hours? Or would you rather have it faster and have a day one patch? That's what I want to know, because I would rather wait and have a more finished product than get something that's half-assed. And they have
I think the problem
this
with that
isn't even
is
half-assed.
I think the problem with that is just taking Cyberpunk out of the equation for a second. When you look at a game that was developed on a cartridge or a CD back in the day, like the development time costs and like amount of people that worked on games wasn't like hundreds of people like it is now. We were small teams of like 20, 30 people. So yes, there was this element of like it has to be done by this day, otherwise it's it. But like I think the demand on developers and games and stuff at the minute is so vast that when you look at supply and demand and everything else, they have to get that disc out there at a certain point, like to be able to reach the release date. So I don't really have that many problems when it comes to like day one patches and stuff. I get it because it's how games are developed these days. That's absolutely fine. My biggest problem is I don't understand why they're so scared to kind of go, this isn't something that can be fixed with a day one patch. So we're going to push it back. Like day one patches are normally like little tweaks and fixes last minute, like that the developers, right up until the day the game launches. Game developers these days are working on these things. I don't understand why the issues that you see in Cyberpunk 2077 are not something that they found in the 11th hour. It's something that would have been present weeks beforehand, and I don't see why they didn't go, look, it's not ready for consoles, so we're going to release it on PC. We're so sorry. Like we're happy with the PC version. It is at a standard where it's playable. There's a few bugs and everything else, but you guys have that. We're going to go away and we're going to work on this. And ultimately, I think they should have just cancelled the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game, because I don't think they're ever going to get it to run on those systems.
No, and the thing is, like, it is sad, like, because it sort of diminishes gamers' belief in companies, doesn't it? And the development teams behind companies. And the next AAA title that people have been waiting years for, like I bet a lot of people, like myself, I'm going to get back into the Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy 16, because it looks like something that I would super enjoy after a lot of years out. But my brother picked up on something in that PlayStation announcement. He goes, "Why would you start off your announcement with something that's running PC graphics?" I says, "This is probably like years and years away. I trust Square to fix that, because they will make sure it runs in the consoles that it comes out on. Square Enix will not let us down." But then I don't know anymore. Will they?
The thing with all that is like developing of games and stuff is primarily done on PCs and stuff anyway. So early development footage, I would not begrudge any company coming out and being like, "This is a game that we're making that's running on PC with similar specs to what the consoles have got." Because probably when this stuff was all being put into the incubator, dev kits for PS5s were probably not even out there yet for third parties. Like first parties for sure, third parties not yet. No. And they have to put it up there because of the fact that there's been so many games out there that have put up footage from different sources from a PC or whatever, misleading people into thinking it's the actual game that's going to be running on the consoles. I just don't think it's ever going to run on a PS4 or an Xbox One, because the main thing that he highlighted in his video is they're having a huge problem with the data transfer speeds on the old gen hardware, and I just don't think that they're built to run and stream as much information as they're doing. They're literally loading everything. Everything's being streamed into the game, like, and I just don't think it's going to work.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
And the thing about that news story is, if that does happen, where they 10% of their profits, will that be global? Like, or will other countries decide to try and take them as well? Like, and what the argument that they have there is very sound. So, what is this going to mean for CD Projekt Red? Like,
I don't know. I don't think
this is in the red, girl.
Yeah, this isn't going to be the first time we'll speak about this in one of these here news shows for this year, and it won't be the last. So let's move on to something a little bit happier with story number 3.
Yes, girl.
Perry, I choose you.
Pika Pika!
You sing. This year, if you didn't know, marks the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and they are teaming up with the pop icon Katy Perry. Perry is the headliner for their musical collaboration that will see them another unifying force within the music world join her. A statement from Perry reads, Pokemon has been a constant in my life from playing the original games on my Game Boy to trading the Pokemon card game cards at lunch, to the adventures of catching Pokemon in the street with Pokemon Go, the singer said. Even as I visited the Pokemon Cafe in Japan while on tour, it was an honor to be chosen to help celebrate the franchise that has given me so much joy in the last 25 years, and to be able to watch it evolve in the ways that it's provided kinds of electric joy for the kids in my life and around the world. So she's working on something like musical-wise. I really hope that her and a load of other pop artists are just going to do covers of like the Pokemon theme tunes. Like that would be fucking amazing.
So I was reading this, right, and something that I picked up on was the head of marketing at the Pokemon company, Colin Palmer, said something really lovely about Katy Perry, and it sort of made me like melt a little bit inside. He said, because we all know that I'm super sensitive, right? I play super sensitive games because I'm just that sort of person. So they said they chose Katy Perry as their starter Pokemon for this project because they see her as a kindred spirit to Pokemon because she's bright, fun, and uplifting, much like the world of Pokemon. I read that and I was like, oh, that's such a lovely thing to say.
Well, the Pokemon's news didn't stop there. Today, was it today or last night? I can't remember. Time is a flat circle. They've also released a new trailer for the new Pokemon Snap game and let us all know that it's coming out on the 30th of April. Tiggs, were you a Pokemon Snap fan?
No, I think I played it a little bit.
Get off the call. Right, I'll
Look,
see you later.
we know.
Oh
shit, he's hanging up. He's hanging up at the end of the cast. I might get the new Pokemons from my Switch, but I'm not sure. Like for me, Pokemon was the original 151. I think I would get confused now, to be honest.
Oh.
Well, it's all too complicated for me. I mean, I'm pretty simple, so
I love Pokemon Snap, and I can't wait for this to come back, and I can't wait to see what music thing is happening with Katy Perry. Tiggs, who else do you think should be joining Katy Perry in this lineup?
So, at Video Games Live, the last one I was at, they usually have like a secret star or something, and it got to the end that they didn't have one, and then they did their encore, and it was the guy that did the original Pokemon theme.
Oh, right,
and he sang the Pokemon theme tune. I want her and him to do the Pokemon theme tune, the original one.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. But other people that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Imagine this, right? RuPaul or Todrick Hall. Yep.
I don't think RuPaul's going to do anything.
and like Clefairy and Clefable, all those sorts of Pokemons in it, and they're sitting on a secret, sitting on a Pokeball.
Yeah,
sitting on a Pokeball.
I mean, as iconic as that would be, I can't see the Pokemon company being like, "Hey, let's get drag queens to do cover songs." I think what's probably more likely, and I'll give you my pitches here.
Go on.
Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Yes.
And this is completely like left field, and I'm just gonna make sure that I've got this right. Yeah. Cardi B. With a fresh take on WAP. And it could be a whack-ass Pokemon.
I don't like that song. Everybody was going on about that song.
I don't like the song, but I think...
And I was like, what is this song? And then I put it on, and I was like, oh, girl, no. Yeah. No, girl, you in danger, girl.
A Pokemon WAP? Can you imagine?
No, that actually makes me feel a little bit sick inside.
Come and get this...
wet-ass Pokemon.
No, this could be like woke-ass Pokemon or wicked-ass Pokemon. No. Come get this wicked-ass Pokemon.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's just a note from me.
No. Do you think they're going to do original tracks or just cover the originals?
I think it might be a mixture. I think they will cover some of the originals. They'll have to cover the original Pokemon theme tune. I would like to see someone like Nicki Minaj.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
I want a new Pokemon album.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine, right? If the collaborators and Katy Perry had Pokemon then introduced into the new Pokemon in their likeness, like inspired by them.
Oh, I think the music videos or whatever they're going to do is going to be very much on brand for that kind of thing.
That is going to be amazing. And other ideas that I had was maybe Ed Sheeran.
Nah.
Well, he would make a really good-looking Pokemon. Like he'd be like
Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran
as a Pokemon.
Ed Sheeran would be a Garbodor. Oh, you don't know what that is, do you? That's the fucking rubbish bag. A Trubbish. That'd be Ed Sheeran.
Oh my god. Or Panic at the Disco. So anybody that's seen Frozen 2 Into the Unknown, Panic at the Disco did the pop version of that was released, or well, whatever, the one that was released into the charts. And my god, whenever I'm cleaning,
he did a song
around the house to
that. Yuri. I'm pretty sure he did a song with Katy Perry.
Well, there you go then.
I might be wrong.
Are you researching?
No, it was what's her name? Oh God, Taylor Swift. He did Me with Taylor Swift, so definitely
Taylor would be good as well. Nah. She'd be good. I've got another random one.
Okay.
Someone like Shingala.
I have no idea what that is.
You know that song?
Is that a Pokemon?
Got paid.
Oh right, yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
So he collaborated with they collaborated with loads of people and did loads of songs. The album's really awesome, but it'd be cool for a little dancing one, or like Daft Punk. That would be super, super awesome. I have seen Daft Punk live, and they are absolutely phenomenal. And could you imagine going to see Daft Punk and Katy Perry?
Yeah.
Doing the Pokemon theme tune.
Fuck it, let's just get Deadmau5 in there as well.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just do it. Make a whole fucking rave album.
Why not?
Why not?
I do dance around the house to Pokemon theme tune sometimes as well.
Yeah, well,
I dance around the house to most things, to be honest.
You dance around the house to the whistle, the kettle fucking whistling, like.
This is true.
True. Moving on to story number 4. Even Wesco would be worried. Following last year's cyber attack on Capcom, they initially came out and said that 9 items of personal information had been taken from current and former employees, but had warned that up to 350,000 of its consumers' data could have been compromised, but it hadn't seen any evidence of it. After that happened on 4chan, there was loads of leaks coming out about different projects that they had going on, including a VR version of Resident Evil 4, Monster Hunter Rise, and Stories 2 for PC, and a plethora of codenames for different projects. However, in a statement that they released yesterday to their investors, the figure of 9 has actually now increased to over 16,000.
What a big mistake!
With 9,000 of those people roughly being their business partners, another 9,000 in current employees, and another 6,000 in former employees. They've also updated the consumer figure to reach a staggering 390,000 people. However, Capcom has assured us that none of the leaked information contains credit card information. I feel so bad for Capcom because what are they to do? Like, they got hacked. Shit happens. Loads of data's got stolen. Like,
I wouldn't like to be writing that breach form, let me tell you. No. Well, look, this just reminds me. Do you remember PlayStation getting hacked?
Yes.
Do you remember that clusterfuck?
Yeah.
Like, data protection is so important today because we've all got these things, phones, and they're connected to bloody everything, and we're so connected. Sometimes I just switch my phone off. I'm too connected because I'm old school. I'm from the country, so I am from the bottom of a mountain.
Yeah, from the place where they use potatoes to charge their electronic devices.
Potato. You can't do that, There is some electricity in a potato, but we're not a science podcast or a gaming podcast. That's one for another time. But yeah, I do feel sorry for them, but like it's too much. Like it's not hard to make sure that your employees are adequately trained, to make sure that you've got good protection. I think
I
Apple
think
should be doing something with everybody, how to keep your data safe, because
yeah. I think
they
that
are
the
good.
biggest problem that they have is like every day new ways of hacking into things become apparent, and I think it's one of those things that evolves and changes so often that any company can try and put things into place, but like ultimately it is just a barrier and barriers can be broken down.
True.
But on the plus side, Capcom has announced that on Thursday they're going to be holding a Resident Evil showcase, which will feature the first gameplay footage of the new Resident Evil Village. And they've also teased that more RE-related content will be making an appearance. I am so fucking stoked for this. I love
Well,
Resident Evil.
I love Resident Evil, but I can't play it anymore. I can just guide people through it, so that I will watch it because I'm excited about it, but I just won't be able to play it when it comes out because I'm a wuss.
I'm super into the Village. I think it's going to be super creepy. And I'm all about this fucking vampire bitch. I don't know who she is. The one in the white dress with the big fucking hat. Like, she is giving me all sorts of vibes. I'm loving it. I'm here for
The
it.
category is vampire bitch.
Yes, fucking love her. But wrapping it all up, we've obviously got this information about leaks of their projects and stuff. They've got new RE-related content that's going to be making an appearance. What do you think they're going to maybe be showing, Tiggs? What do you think they're going to unveil next Thursday?
Maybe another Revelations potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like if they're going to do something main, they usually follow it with something sidey.
Yeah.
So I think we're looking at maybe a Revelations or something like that along the way to sort of that'll be coming shortly after.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Chris Redfield's in the next one, and I love Chris.
I think we're probably going to see. I don't think we're going to see a Revelations. I reckon we might see some because they've just finished filming the Netflix Resident Evil reboot stuff.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, I'm
there'll be a
looking
bit of
forward
a
to that.
teaser for that. Maybe we might see some information on the Resident Evil 4 remake that's rumored to be in the works, as
Yep.
Capcom seems to be going back and remaking all the original Resident Evil titles. And maybe some more information on maybe things to do for Project Resistance, like the isometric like 1v4 game that came with Resident Evil. Sif, so Sif's just popped up in the chat. Very good shout out. He's saying Outbreak. You remember the Resident Evil Outbreak games?
Yeah, I didn't play them, but I do remember them.
That would be fucking sweet. I'd love to see that. Or maybe Code Veronica remake. Who knows?
Code Veronica was good. It was well creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, that was good.
Oh,
I enjoyed that.
Moving on to story number 5. N7, more like M12. Mass Effect Legendary Edition has had its March 12th, 2021 release date leaked according to a report by Eurogamer. The leak comes from a form of 2 tweets from online retailers Shop iTree of Singapore and GS Shop of Indonesia. There has been no official date given by EA at this time, so take it with a pinch of salt. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is a remastered collection of all the original trilogy, all up-res to 4K UHD with all the DLC, promotion, weapons, items, packs, and all that good stuff jammed back in there, and put onto the new current consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series, because EA is said to be making the most of this and with forward compatibility in mind. Tiggs, do you reckon it's coming March 12th, 2021?
Look, I no. I think it is going to be N7 Day.
Do you think?
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I can't. I just don't think it's going to be that soon.
I think it's going to be March.
Well,
Because
let's be honest. If they can get it out now, they're probably going to make. Well, they're going to make a killing in this anyway, but they will probably make more because we're all stuck at home, fucking locked down. So any games developer, I think now that's got something that's nearly over the line that they can tweak, will be pushing out now, because you go to buy consoles, you go to buy anything, it's sold out because
I think it's coming on that date purely because this is not the when they came out and said that the Legendary Edition was in production and everything else, this isn't the first time we've heard this. The rumors about this thing being in production have been like vast and everywhere for the last 3 years, maybe. So they're not remaking the game. It's not being rebuilt from the ground up or anything like that. It's literally been ported to work on current gen consoles. From, I think it was a Kotaku article with Jason Schreier, somebody from within EA kind of leaked out a bit of information basically saying that the reason it's taken so long for them to do this is because the original Mass Effect had so much more work to be done on it than the other two because of, well, you've seen the original Mass Effect.
Yeah, I have.
So they needed to do a lot more work on that to be able to bring it into the standard of the second and third one. I believe it's going to be March 12th.
If it is,
wait.
I'll be super happy. I am excited to play through them again. Like, I really did enjoy them. They were a cracking game series, honestly. Yeah. And John Shepard, just the way I played him and everything, like, I just fell in love with the guy.
Yeah,
totally. He is such a good protagonist, but the people that accompanied him were amazing as well. They were such well developed characters, and the storyline, how it flowed from game to game. It was an absolutely amazing game.
Yeah. I just hope that in all of their tweaking, they add in some more gay romance options in the first and second game, because it wasn't until like the third game that really you got the option to like bang the boys.
Well, let's be honest here, and that romance scene was shit. Like, I felt dirty after I had sex with Caden. Sorry, made love to Caden. Like, it felt cheap and not what they should have. It should have been more. I mean, it was amazing that they did it, but I just hope that they tweak that to make it a bit more flowy.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's literally just going to be copy and paste. But I do want them to add more options into 1 and 2, because we were sold out of that kind of stuff in the first and second game.
Imagine shagging the Krogan.
I mean, girl's got to get her rocks off somewhere.
No, you dirty bitch.
Speaking of dirty bitches.
Oh,
story
good
number
segue.
6.
Good segue. I take my hat off to you. Good
she's not really a
segue.
dirty bitch, but one professor, Miss Umbridge, would once say, "I want you to write some lines for me today, Mr. Potter. I want you to write, I must not release an unfinished game using my special quill." Spanish. That's right, this is Harry Potter related. The Hogwarts Legacy game has been delayed into 2022 from its original 2021 release window. In a statement released on the game's official Twitter account, a spokesperson said, "We would like to thank fans from around the world on the tremendous reaction to the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy from our port games label. Creating the best possible experience for all our Wizarding World and gaming fans is paramount, and to do this, we're giving the game the time it needs. Hogwarts Legacy will be released in 2022. The teaser for the game was released in Sony's PS5 event in 2020, with the game, or more accurately the franchise, being a little bit divided due to the creator, she who shall not be named, Rowling, and her views on trans people. The game is set to be taking place in the late 1800s, with you being able to go and do all of your spells and other Hogwarts-related things, like playing Quidditch, going into the Forbidden Forest. I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a game, but what do you think?
Do you think can you get drunk in the game? Acco cocktail,
maybe. I mean, you got butterbeer, haven't you?
I don't think that gets you drunk, though, does it?
Oh, well, I think so, yeah, because Hermione gets drunk on it, doesn't she?
Oh, well, why are you serving that to kids?
Well, to be fair, it's like, what, Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think?
Do you know what? I read the books as well, and I don't remember her getting drunk.
Yeah,
go back and revisit.
Well, in the film, she got drunk. Hermione Granger was in there, and it was when Harry had taken the Phyllis elixir, the liquid look.
Yeah.
And he took that professor down to find out about the Horcruxes.
Oh yeah,
and they
yeah,
went
yeah.
to the pub, and Hermione got drunk. Anyway, do you think?
Anyway,
I mean, after 2077 story, I think it's a huge win for them to push this game back to 2022. If it's not right and it's not ready to go, then don't fucking ship it.
well, I think that people will commend them. Let us know what you think if you're listening as well, whether you are happy or sad about this. I think it's good. Well, we know my views on release and finished
Exactly.
games. So, of course I'm going to say it's good. I am hyped about the game. I think it's going to be amazing. Are you hyped?
I'm super hyped about it. Well, I'm super hyped, but super split at the same time because I really love Harry Potter, but then obviously Chops has been doing some fucking horrible things, so
Did you
it's
just
like,
you
oh,
used the bomb?
I used the C word. Oh shit!
Oh God, the word that must not be
I know.
used.
Whoopsie.
You get one of them, don't you? If you use another, you'll be banned.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out. I post editing. Anyway, so yeah, because of her, obviously, like the whole franchise is a little bit tarnished at the minute. So I'm really excited for the game. I really want to play it, but at the same time, it's like I feel really divided on buying the game because obviously, ultimately, some of that money is going to end up in her pocket. But at the same time, I think to myself, like, is that really fair on this team of people that have been like developing this game for years and years, putting their heart and soul into this project, who they've come out and said that she's got nothing to do with it other than it being built in her world, like are just not going to get the recognition that they deserve because of her.
So look, let's talk about this. It's quite a sensitive subject, but whenever it came out, like I kept seeing things on Twitter and Facebook and people sharing things and on the news about what she'd said, and I thought, what a fucking idiot. That's one. Then something else came out a couple of days later, and I was like, I really can't believe she's just done that. And then maybe a week later again, and I was like, right, one, I can't believe this woman wrote these Harry Potter books because they're all about acceptance and love and facing adversity together. Whenever she's a fucking twat, but all the Harry Potter cast did all their videos denouncing her, and what I think now you can fact check me, or the listeners can fact check me. I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Radcliffe that said if you have a special bond with that book, so a lot of LGBTQ community came out and said it's ruined the bond for them, like it helped them come out, or it helped them do this, or it helped them do that, it helped them overcome a struggle. And he said your bond with the book is personal. That's you. That's between you and the book, not you and her. So
Yeah.
you try and detach the two. I know it's difficult, but if that book meant something to you, it almost doesn't matter what she did. Like forget about her.
I think it's
It's
a
about the
really,
character.
really difficult, nuanced question, and one that I know we've said a couple of times we want to kind of put as a podcast as can you separate art from the artist? So I don't want to get into it too much here. But I just think it's a real shame. I can't believe she's turned out to be that she is. But at the same time, like I'm maybe misinformed, not informed enough, don't understand the situation enough. But I just feel so bad for these developers that are working on this game, of putting so much time and effort into making the best version of a Harry Potter game that they can, and they're faced with a brick wall that could potentially like
I agree.
tank the game and make it unsuccessful. The other thing that I was thinking with this announcement is, could it be, yeah, of course, like the game needs a bit of a tweak and everything else, but could it be them trying to buy a little bit of breathing room? Because since they announced this, like they announced this game, around the announcement there was so much toxicity and horribleness coming out from a certain person's Twitter account, and the weeks and months since, like it's just been ongoing. Could this also be a way for them to kind of go, okay, let's push it back to 2022? It gives us a whole 12 months for this to kind of like maybe die down a little bit, and maybe us win back some people.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
maybe, but is it enough? And that's the thing. And look, it will divide people, and that's okay. Like
Yeah.
no matter what side, what side you're on, whether you can separate the art from the artist or whether you can't. It doesn't. That's your choice, and that's totally understandable either way. But who's to say in those 12 months you won't do something else?
Yeah, that's true.
Because let's face it, this woman appears to be an absolute idiot. Like, I mean, the stuff I was reading, my jaw was on the floor, and I was like, I really can't believe that. But whenever I saw this, I was like, well, this isn't her. Like, this is a game developer that seems to have done a cracking job, and I watched that trailer and I was like, wow, that just looks amazing. So I really hope that people do get behind it and separate it out. But I don't know. It depends what she does as well, doesn't it? Because she is going to get royalties from it.
Also, like, I just want to put out there, a lot of people I've seen calling out saying, like, if you buy this game, obviously a portion of that money is going to go to JK or whatever. To some extent, that's not quite how things work. Like, I would imagine that she would probably be being paid out because she's not writing it or anything like that. Maybe the royalty scheme might be more of like, here's a lump sum, like
for your IP. Yeah.
And we're going to do this. And then I've also seen, which is just a side note, but the thing that I've seen the most is, don't buy it new, buy it secondhand, and then she doesn't get any fucking money. And my point to that is, don't buy it secondhand because then the developer doesn't get any fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, I think that's worse. Like, that these people aren't going to get any money. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to a nice story.
Okay.
I lick my lips for this one because I always fuck this up. Yushima to be doing something good. That's right.
There he is.
Ghosts of Tsushima fans have helped restore a real-life torii gate on the island after it was destroyed in a typhoon in September of 2020. Originally, the crowdfunding page had been set up to help pay for the repairs, looking for just 5 million yen. When the page closed its funding efforts on the 10th of January 2021, they beat the goal by over 500%, raising an astonishing 27 million yen. Repairs will begin at the end of April of this year, with a commemorative stone being placed with all the names of the contributors that donated more than 10,000 yen. And I just think this is such a nice story, because in gaming, you get all the shit stuff, you get the reviews, everything else, but when it comes to like gaming outside of our little like sphere of people being interested in it, usually the only thing that you hear is, it's an addiction, it's rotting their minds, video games are violent, like horrible, horrible, nasty things. And I just think it's so lovely to see a news story that's like, hey, hang on, no, these people play this game, they love this game, and they've helped a community raise money to be able to restore an iconic thing within that island. Torii gates, usually the starting sign or the starting marker for their like shrines and stuff. So I think it's amazing.
Well, it's like Ubisoft and Notre Dame.
Exactly, when they used the rendering of the Notre Dame to help rebuild it. And
it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. And then they gave the game for free for like a month, I think it was. And like for everybody that downloaded one, the money that they would have made from that game got donated to the Notre Dame fund.
It's amazing.
Such a nice thing.
Like, hats off to you guys. Well done.
I raise my beanie to you.
I raise my flat cap to you, but I can't take it off because I've got a headset over my head, and that just won't look good.
And of course, Tsushima was our game of the year for 2020. Pick it up. Pick it up. Finally, rounding off this episode, the last story, number 8. Show me your goddamn Elden Ring already!
Hey, you have to pay to see that, bitch.
So in this story, Gabriel Bjork Steinstorm, who is an artist that worked on Sephora's
wait. Say his name again 3 times fast.
Gabriel Bjork Steinstorm. Gabriel Bjork Steinstorm. Gabriel Bjork Steinstorm.
Now I have 2 more beers and try saying it again.
Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? So he is an artist that worked on the Elden Ring teaser trailer. And he's posted some amazing concept art to his website thing, ArtStation. Never heard of it before, but I'm guessing it's something that artists use to showcase their work, obviously, because that's what he did. When he put it up there, he made it very clear that he has no intimate knowledge of the project and was like, I don't know what's going on. I've no information. Don't read into this. It is literally just a bit of art that I worked on it. And of course, the Elden Ring community lost their fucking minds.
Of course they did.
Since then, unfortunately, the artist has removed the artwork from his page, which is really sad because, you know, he should be able to just put things up there and let people.
It's because he
them.
was busted, girl. Yeah. He was busted.
Maybe. The original concept pieces all revolved around the one scene in the trailer where something's been hammered. I think it's like a sword or something or other. And he was just showing off different ways that this could have happened and the effects that could be used and everything else. So, Elden Ring, everybody's been clamoring for it. Sif's in the chat saying he needs it. There was an article like in December from IGN, I think it was. So there's a whole like subreddit community of people just making their own shit up to be able to like get through between one thing to the next of like the information because there's just nothing there, and people are clamoring and theorizing and just basically going, well, this is it. This is when the information is going to start coming out. Must be because like NDAs are ending. Like this is going to be a new era, a new ushering in of information based around Elden Ring. But Tiggs, what do you know? What do you think? What are your feelings?
If it's like a Souls game, I probably won't play it because
same.
If it's not like a Souls game and is like a Souls game, only a bit more geared towards us gamers that can't do Souls games, then I'll be like, yep, I'm there. Because I do like the looks of Souls.
Yeah.
Sif will be there.
Oh, 100% Sif's going to be there. He'll be streaming it. He'll be playing it. He'll be like, oh, guys, this is like... I had a conversation with Sif and was basically like, I really want to give Dark Souls a go, but like I'm not too sure which one's like the easiest one, and I think I need to kind of like ease myself in. And I got a little bit cocky because I'd played Jedi Fallen Order on like a harder difficulty or something. It was like, okay, I can block and parry. Like, which one's going to get me into this? And he was literally like, well, this one's like maybe not so easy, and 2's probably the easiest, but then there's this thing that happens in 2 which is pretty hard, so then maybe 3's the easiest, but no, then 1, but they're all fucking hard. I played them all, they're all ridiculously fucking hard. I've just blurred myself. But I'll probably end up buying it.
Probably.
Because I can't help myself.
I'll just loan it a few then.
Yeah. And I'm pretty stoked about the fact that it's George R.R. Martin that's working on the story / world building. Because
that will be awesome.
It's the Game of Thrones guy. Like, it's going to be a good story.
Absolutely,
it's going to be amazing. Sif is going off in the chat. It's what From Software deserves.
nice, Sif.
And that brings us to the end of today's roundup. Although I do have a special mention. Because if I don't say this, Tiggs will literally break COVID-related rules and guidance, come round to my house and bash me over the head with a kitty litter tray.
Yes!
A special mention to Stray for its October 2021 release date, as per a recent PS5 sizzle reel that was shown off at CES.
Meow. That was my kitty cat.
I'm very, very much disturbed right now.
I really can't tell you how excited I am for this game. I was sat last year, and this is before I played God of War, and I'd sat last year and I was like, right, next gen consoles are coming out. I don't really know what I'm going to do because like I am actually enjoying the PlayStation. Do a switch back? Because I was an Xbox for years. I switched from PlayStation to Xbox. I always end up having them all. But like, what's going to be my first one? Saw the teaser trailer for Stray, and I was like, it's a fucking kitty cat with a backpack. I'm getting the PS5. PS5.
Doing it, I'm buying it.
I can't wait for this game. It just looks so cool.
When it comes out, you need to do a whole stream on the channel with it. I think you need to play it from start to finish, just streaming it on the channel. But
awesome. All that anybody is going to hear whenever I stream this game is like, oh my god, look at that kitty cat, he's so cute.
I'm sure people will love it. It's the content they're here for.
Yeah. I can't love it.
Before we round out the show, I just want to let you know what games are coming out this week. I had a little Google about this earlier, and from what I can see, it seems like a pretty quiet week. So next week we have got Hitman 3 coming out on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC on January the 20th. Not only does it come with Hitman 3, but it also comes with all the old previous Hitman 1 and 2. It was like this big, glorious World of Assassination collection thing.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're playing on PlayStation, it also comes with the VR version, and you can play 1 to 3 all the way through in VR, which is pretty fucking cool.
That is cool.
And the next one that I've got down here is Ride 4, which is for Series Xbox Series and PS5 on January the 21st. Bit of a racer game there for you.
Awesome.
Let us know if you picked them up. Let us know if you're enjoying them. As always, you can find us on social media by looking for at Gaymers Assemble, Gaymers Assemble, GAYMERS, Assemble as the usual spelling. You can write into us at Gamers Assemble. No, it's the other way around. gamersassemble@gmail.com. Let us know if you've got some news stories that you think you should be covering, any topics, shows, feedback. Just want to chat to us. Just do it.
Just chat. Do it.
And it is super important that if you are enjoying this content, that you head over to our YouTube, head over to our Twitch, Facebook, or we don't have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hit the follow, hit the notification bells, especially on Twitch and YouTube, so that you guys know when our next lot of content comes up. We will be back next Friday with another episode of the Beardy News Roundup. But until then, you can catch us on Sunday with another episode of the podcast. Tiggs, say goodnight to these lovely people.
Good night, you awesome people!
And I have been the Beardy Gaymer, bringing you this news roundup. Thank you very much, and good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.